Good evening, everyone. In the last session, we started our discussion related to Amazon Web Services, that is also called as AWS, right? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. Why it is called as Amazon Web Services? Amazon company providing some services over the web. That means if you want to host your application, we need some infrastructure for the application. That infrastructure you can get from the Amazon, from the internet. That means Amazon is giving some services. That means Amazon is giving some services through web. That's why it is called as Amazon Web Services. Now, AWS is managing by Amazon company. So Amazon is called as provider of the AWS. AWS is mainly famous for providing infrastructure as a service. So in order to host our application, whatever the infrastructure that we need, AWS is going to provide that infrastructure for us. And AWS is going to charge for the services which you are going to use. That means AWS is providing the services based on pay as you go model. Pay as you go model. Now, in order to use AWS services, we need to create the account in the AWS. By using this URL, we can create the account in the AWS. Okay. In the AWS, we can create two types of accounts. One is called as root account. Another one is called as root account. Another one is called as IAM account. Root account is nothing but the main account to use the AWS. Company will be using the root account to manage the billings, to pay the bills to the AWS. For the company employees, they don't provide the root account access. As an employee, when you join in the company, you will get IAM account access. IAM stands for Identity Access Management. Company will manage the root account and the team members will use the IAM account. Now, how to create the IAM account? What is IAM? IAM stands for Identity Access Management. Once the root account is created, from the root account, IAM account will be created for us. Okay. Now, from when this AWS available? AWS came into market in the year of 2006. Amazon company started providing services. That means IT services, IT infrastructure services through web. That is now called as cloud computing. And AWS is providing more than 200 services which are required for our project. But we don't use all the 200 services in our project. Maximum 15 to 20 services only we are going to use from the AWS, not all the services. If you have a requirement, you can use the service. Based on the requirement, you can use the service. Based on the requirement, you can use the service. Okay, guys. Fine. Now, next one is AWS is providing the services for 1 country, 2 countries, 10 countries. How many countries it is providing the services? How many services AWS providing the services? Almost 190 plus. Almost 190 plus countries are using AWS services. How it is possible? How AWS is providing services for? How it is providing AWS? How AWS is providing services for these many countries? AWS providing the services for these many countries. AWS providing services for these many countries because it is having a global infrastructure. AWS is having a global infrastructure. So how it is managing the global infrastructure? AWS is having regions and availability zones. AWS is having regions and availability zones. Can anyone tell me what is the region and what is the availability zone? Can you tell me what is the region and what is the availability zone?
Region is a geographical.
Region is a geographical location. Region is a geographical location. Then what is the meaning of availability zone? What is the meaning of availability zone? Data center. AWS having global infrastructure. AWS having global infrastructure. AWS providing services for 190 plus countries across the globe. AWS providing cloud services for 190 plus countries. 190 plus countries. To provide the services across the globe. To provide services across the globe, AWS having regions and availability zones. AWS is having regions and availability zones. AWS is having regions and availability zones. Region means geographical location. Region means geographical location. Availability zone means data center. Availability zone means data center. Now, can anyone tell me what is a data center? Can anyone tell me what is a data center?
The set of servers.
Yeah, please go ahead. What is data center?
Collection of multiple servers.
Collection of multiple servers. Collection of multiple servers with complex network. Collection of multiple servers with complex network. Who will manage the data center? Who will manage the data center? Data center means a room with servers. Data center means a room with servers having complex network connection. Having complex network connection. Who will manage the data center? AWS will manage the data center. AWS will manage data centers to provide the services for the people. AWS will manage data centers to provide services to people, services to businesses. That means for companies, for businesses. Now, I'm doing a business. I want infrastructure from the AWS. I'm doing a business. I want the infrastructure from the AWS. So AWS is managing that infrastructure for me. AWS is providing the infrastructure for me by using data centers. Okay. Now tell me, how many regions are available in the AWS? How many regions are available in the AWS?
26.
26 regions are available. How many data centers are available?
84.
84 data centers are available. Nothing but 84 availability zones are available. Can one region have multiple availability zone?
Yes.
AWS is having 24 regions and 86 availability zones.
26, I guess.
26 regions and 84. 26 regions and 84 availability zones. AWS having 26 regions and 84 availability zones. Some regions and zones are coming soon from AWS. AWS announced that some new regions and availability zones are coming soon. Now, for us in the India, where we have in India, what is the region for AWS? No. Hyderabad is not there in
Mumbai.
In India, we have one region. In India, we have one region, that is Mumbai. In the India, we have one region, that is Mumbai. In that region, we have three availability zones.
3 or 4? So
Three only.
Okay.
Yeah. In India, we have one region that is called Mumbai. In that region, we have 3 availability zones. Okay. Now, if I take one region like this, this is my Mumbai region. In the Mumbai region, AWS is having 3 availability zones. That means 3 locations. In 3 locations, AWS is having their infrastructure to provide the services for the businesses which are running in the India. Okay. Now, here AP South 1A. Now, here next one, AP South 1B, AP South 1C, like that there are some names are available. Let me call it as 1A, let me call it as 1B, let me call it as 1C. These are the names of availability zones in the Mumbai. These are the names of availability zones in the Mumbai. Okay, now in this availability zone, what will be available, guys? In this availability zone, servers will be available with a complex network connection. In this availability zone, what is available? Servers are available with a complex network connections. Are you guys able to follow this? Now, this is one Mumbai region. In the Mumbai region, we are having 3 availability zones. Now, I am working in India. My business is running in India. I want to host my application in the India. I want to host my application in the India. Now, so will I choose American region or I will choose Mumbai region? I will choose American region or I will choose Mumbai region?
Mumbai.
I will choose Mumbai region only because it is near to me. Mumbai is near to me because I am in the India. I will go to Mumbai region, and in the Mumbai region, I will choose availability zone. Now, one availability zone can connect to another availability zone also. Why in the one region they have multiple availability zones? Why they are not keeping only one availability zone in one region?
For backup.
Come on, why?
Because if
Un-
failure happens, no one
failure,
can
maybe
recover.
yes.
If you keep
Cyclone,
everything,
maybe
if you
due
keep
to bad weather.
if you keep everything in one availability zone, if you keep everything in one availability zone, if some cyclone happen, if some earthquake happen, if some power cuts happen, some problems, some natural disasters happen, then they cannot provide the services. That means AWS always thinking about the backup. AWS always thinking about the backup. Are you able to follow this? AWS always thinking about backup. A region having multiple data centers. A region having multiple data centers, we can also call as a region is having multiple availability zones. In the availability zones, we are going to keep the servers. One region can have multiple availability zones. One region can have multiple availability zones. Multiple availability zones. Servers will be placed in the availability zone. Availability zone is also called as data center. Availability zone is also called as data centers. What will be available in the data centers? What will be available in the data center, guys? Server or instances. Servers or instances are placed in availability zone. Servers or instances are placed in availability zone, or we can say data center. Guys, from now onwards, if I say data center or if I say availability zone, both are same. Availability zone is nothing but a data center only. One region can have multiple availability zones. One availability zone is called as data center. Inside the data center, servers will be available, and servers will be available in the servers or instances will be available in the data centers. Okay. Now, if I want to start my business, am I going to keep all my servers in one availability zone? Come on, guys. Am I going to keep all my servers? For my project, I'm using 10 servers. Do you think that I'm going to keep all my 10 servers in one availability zone? You can speak out, guys. Am I going to keep all my servers in one availability zone?
In multiple servers.
No.
It is highly recommended to keep. It is highly recommended to keep our servers in multiple availability zones. It is highly recommended to keep our servers in multiple availability zones. If one availability zone goes down, we have the servers, we have a backup for that in the another availability zone. Note, why we are going to keep the servers in multiple availability zones? If one availability zone goes down, our servers will be running in another availability zone. Our servers will be running in another availability zone. Now, suppose for example, first availability zone went down. There is some natural disaster natural disaster, some cyclone happened in the first availability zone. First availability zone goes down. First availability zone goes down. It is not responding. All the servers are available in the first availability zone are not responding. Then what will happen, guys? Is our application is going to stop, or our application will run?
Application
will be run and the traffic will be moved to another data center.
Exactly. When the one availability zone went down, AWS automatically will switch the traffic to the another availability zone. Who is responsible to switch the traffic from one availability zone to another availability zone? It is AWS responsibility. We are keeping our servers in multiple availability zones. When one availability zone goes down, then automatically our traffic will be switched to second availability zone. For example, second availability zone also goes down. Here also natural disaster happened. Here also natural disaster happened. Then what happened?
It will move to another third one.
Then the traffic will go to 1C. 1C is the availability zone. Now there are 3 availability zones in the Mumbai. If first availability zone goes down, still our application will be running in the second availability zone and the third availability zone. If second availability zone also went down, then our traffic will go to third availability zone. For example, if third availability zone also goes down,
another maybe nearby data center.
No. In the India, we have only 3 availability zones, na? This is the
foreign country.
This is the failure case, guys. This is the failure case.
Oh, okay.
This is the failure case.
On that case, our application will be down.
In that scenario, our application will be down. In that scenario,
But this
our
is very
application
rare
will be
case.
down. You understand?
Okay.
If 3 availability zones went down, then our application will be down. But it is very rare scenario.
Hello, sir. One question.
Yes,
We
sir.
can choose more than one region.
More than one region, yes, we can choose it, sir. Then you have to pay for that. You have to pay for that.
Okay.
You have to host your application in the multiple regions. Na? If you host your application in the multiple regions, according to that, you have to pay. Whatever you want, AWS will give you. Generally, we'll keep one region. In one region, we will choose multiple availability zones. Our application will be running in the multiple availability zones in the one region. In the region, all the availability zones are went down. Then that is the failure case. That is the failure case.
But is in rare case, maybe.
Very rare.
Rare case.
Very rare case.
Yes, sir. I have one doubt that is there any interconnection between these all regions?
Yes, sir. Yeah. No. Not regions. Availability zones will have interconnection.
Okay.
For
Availability
regions,
zones will have interconnection.
Yeah. So Ashok, have you maybe if you have idea, which mechanism working behind means 1A is down, so the request traffic will be routed to the second one. 1B.
Yes, load balancers will be there.
Load balancer will be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now, whenever AWS is setting up a region, AWS will do lot of ground work, guys. Do you think that AWS will directly come and keep the data center in the Hyderabad, in High-Tech City one data center, in Uppal one data center, and keep another data center in the Secunderabad? Do you think that randomly they will choose the location, keep the data center? So keeping the data center is a easy task or a difficult job?
It is a difficult job.
Difficult task.
They have to invest crores of rupees. If the AWS want to set up one data center, they need to find out a place, very secured place they need. They have to purchase a lot of servers. They need power for the data center. They need a high speed network for the data center. They need security. They need connections. They need configurations. They are going to invest crores of rupees when they are setting up a data center. In the India, they have only one data center, that too in the Mumbai. In the Mumbai data center, they have 3 availability zones. Whenever AWS is taking data center in one region, they will make sure each availability zone is 100 kilometer distance. Now let's take an example. Madhapur, High-Tech City. How much distance from Madhapur to High-Tech City? 5 kilometers. Hardly. Yes or no? Anybody from Hyderabad? How much distance from Madhapur to High-Tech City?
Yes, sir. 5
To 4
5 to
kilometers.
6,
5
5
kilometers.
to 6
5
only.
yeah, yeah.
Now AWS want to set up a data center in Hyderabad. I mean, India, in Hyderabad, they want one region. In India, already they have Mumbai region. Now they want to go for Hyderabad region also. When they go for Hyderabad region, they will set up multiple data centers. Do you think that they will keep one data center in the Madhapur, another data center in the Jubilee Hills, another data center in the high-tech city?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Why?
No, sir.
Because 5 kilometer distance only. If any earthquake happen, both data centers will be affected or not?
Yes.
Affected.
If any cyclone happen, both data centers will be affected. If any natural disaster happen, both data centers will be affected. So that is the reason what the AWS is going to do. Do you think that they will keep the data centers very near?
No.
Minimum, they are going to take 100 kilometers of
kilometers.
distance. They are going to take 100 kilometers of distance from one data center to another data center. Like that, they will do a lot of groundwork on the area. When they are going to keep a data center, that means they are keeping thousands of crores of rupees there. They are going to keep their money to keep the data center. That's why AWS will do lot of groundwork. They will do lot of analysis. Then only they will choose that area to keep a data center. Able to understand? Now, I think already 2 years back they announced that they are going to consider Hyderabad as a region, but still it is coming soon. That means why it is still coming soon? Can they set up within 1 week of time, within 1 month of time? They are taking years of time. They are
Years of
taking
time.
years of time. Why? Because it's not easy to set up a data center, guys. If they are setting a data center, that means companies will use the servers from the data center. Those data center servers should be secured. Lot of speed network, lot of high speed network should be there. Lot of configuration is required. So many things they have to consider. That is the reason they are taking years of time to set up a data center, another data center or another region in the India. Hyderabad is coming soon. We don't know. They may take 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. We have to wait for that. So each availability zone will have 60 miles. That means availability zones will be available with 100 kilometers distance. That is officially AWS only announced that. Availability zones will be available with in 100 kilometers distance. Available with 100 kilometers distance. Each availability zone will be available with 100 kilometers distance, which is nothing but 60 miles. They are considering 60 miles distance. 60 miles, if you convert, it will become 100 kilometers. 100 kilometers. Now you got the clarity. What is the region and what is the availability zone?
Yes.
You got the clarity. What is the region? What is the availability zone? Can
Yes.
I say that in one
Yes,
country,
sir.
in one country there will be only one region, or one country can have multiple regions also?
Multiple region also.
One country can have multiple regions also.
Multiple
One region, nothing but it one geographical location. Now, today in the Mumbai we have a region. Tomorrow from Hyderabad to Hyderabad, in Hyderabad they are configuring one more region. After that, they may go to Vizag as a one more region, Guntur as a one more region, Vijayawada as a one more region, like that. So in the India, they can choose any place as a region. One region, nothing but one geographical location. In that region, they will have multiple availability zones. Availability zone, nothing but a data center. Data center, nothing but collection of servers which are configured with complex network. Now, when we want to use AWS services, we will choose the region. In that region, we will choose the availability zone. Now, I want the infrastructure for my project. Then what I will do? What I will do? When I want infrastructure for my project, what I will do? Do you think that I will choose a US region for my infrastructure, or I will choose the nearest region?
Nearest
Nearest.
region.
For us, what is the nearest region? India. Now, tell me, in the Singapore, there is a region. In the Mumbai, there is a region. I'm doing my work from Hyderabad. I will go to Singapore region, or I will go to Mumbai region?
Mumbai region.
Mumbai region.
Mumbai region.
In the India, we have only one region, that is Mumbai. How many availability zones are available in the Mumbai?
3.
Three availability
Three
zones
zone.
are available in the Mumbai. What is the meaning of availability zone?
Data center.
Data center. Data center. What is the meaning of data center?
With the
Setup
collection
of
of servers.
collection of servers with complex networks.
Data center nothing but collection of servers with a complex network. Availability zones will be available in the nearby availability zones, or every availability zone will have some distance.
Some distance.
Every
Some
availability
distance.
zone will have some distance. How
100
much distance
kilometers.
minimum they are going to maintain? They are
100
going to maintain
kilometers.
100 kilometers. Now, in the AWS, every region will have a name, guys. In the AWS, every region will have a name. Now, we are going to talk more about the Mumbai region because our nearest place is Mumbai. I'm taking this class from Hyderabad. So I want to set up my infrastructure nearby in the nearby region. My nearby region is a Mumbai. Okay. For what is the for Mumbai region? What is the name? It is called AP South 1. What is this, guys? AP South 1. AP means Andhra Pradesh. Huh?
Asia Pacific.
Not Andhra Pradesh, guys. AP means Asia Pacific. AP South 1. So in the AP South 1 region is available. So this is the name of the Mumbai region. AP-South-1. AP means not Andhra Pradesh. AP means Asian Pacific. Now in this Mumbai, we have 3 availability zones. In the Mumbai, we have 3 availability zones. Every availability zone also having a name. What are the names of the availability zones? AP-South-1A, AP-South-1B, AP-South-1A, AP-South-1C. These are called as availability zones. These are called as availability zones, or we can say data centers in the Mumbai. Mumbai is one region. In the Mumbai region, we have 3 availability zones. Region is having one name. Availability zones also having the name. Guys, these all are the certification questions. These all are the certification questions. How much distance will be there from one availability zone to another availability zone? What is the name of the Mumbai region? How many availability zones are available in the Mumbai? What are the names of the availability zones? These are all questions they will ask in the certification. MCQs, multiple choice questions. You got it? Fine. So guys, with this, we understood AWS introduction. What is cloud computing? We understood. What is cloud computing? What are the advantages of cloud? What are the advantages of cloud? We understood. And the next one is cloud models. What types of cloud? Types of cloud. Types of cloud. Cloud service models. Cloud service models. Cloud providers. Who are the cloud providers? Service models, nothing but that is what we discussed about IaaS versus PaaS versus SaaS. Okay, cloud providers also we understood. Then AWS introduction. What is AWS? When it started? What AWS is doing for us? AWS account creation. AWS account creation. Okay, so we have created what account, guys? Now root account only we have created. Now we understood regions and availability zones. Regions and availability zones in the AWS. Are you guys comfortable with all these topics that we learned so far? Are you guys confident about all these topics that we learned so far? We learned about what is cloud computing. We learned what are the advantages of cloud. We learned types of cloud, cloud service models, AWS introduction. Right now, AWS account creation, then regions and availability zones. I hope all of you comfortable with these steps. Come on, guys. Now let's move on. From today onwards, the practicals are going to start, guys. Theoretically, we have learned so many things about AWS. Okay, AWS is doing that, AWS is doing this, right? Now let us prove it. Let us prove it. Now, can I give one requirement and can we work on that requirement? Can I give one requirement? Can we work on that requirement? Come on, speak out, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Now let's take one requirement and let's work on that requirement today. Today is the first practical session, guys. Today is the first practical session. Requirement. Set up Windows machine. Set up Windows machine in AWS and copy and keep some data in that machine. Now I have some data in my local system. My computer is having only 1 TB hard disk. So I have huge data in my personal. Now I am taking a class using my personal computer, guys. I'm using Windows operating system. Now I want another computer to store the data because my current computer memory is not sufficient to store the data. I want to transfer the data from my computer to another computer. Generally, you have 1 TB hard disk in the computer, your 1 TB completed. Then what you will do? You have huge data. You have huge data. Can you store more than 1 TB data in the same computer, which is having only 1 TB hard disk?
No.
You need to purchase the external hard disk.
Yep.
You need to purchase external hard disk, or you need to purchase another computer. Now tell me, do you really need to purchase another computer, or you can use computer which are available in the AWS data centers?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
AWS data
Will be
center.
available in AWS data center.
Now, AWS is having the data center, right? What is there in the data center? Computers only, right? What is there in the data center? Server. What? A computer, machine, computer, instance, server, everything is same. Now, my requirement is set up Windows machine in AWS cloud and keep some data in that machine. Set up Windows machine in the AWS cloud and keep some data in that machine. That means I am going to take one virtual computer from the AWS. I'm going to take one computer from the AWS for rent now. So what is the meaning of using the AWS computer? That means AWS already having so many computers in the data center. Can I use one of the computer from the data center? Can I pay the rent for the using that computer? Yes, sir. Yes, or
Yes.
no? Yes, we can do that. We can do that now. So in order to set up a computer in the AWS, do I need to log in into AWS account or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Chalo, login karenge. Guys, observe carefully. First practical class we are doing today.
Sure, sir.
First practical class we are doing. Lot of theory completed. First time we are doing the practical class. All of you created the account in the AWS?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So we have created an account. When you create an account, by default, which account will be created? Root account will be created.
Root account.
Who will manage the root account? Who will manage the root account? Company will manage.
Company.
Tomorrow when you join in the company, will you get the access for company root account, or you will not get the access for company root account?
Will not
You will not
sir.
get the access for the company root account. You will be
IAM
using
user.
IAM account. IAM stands for Identity Access and Management.
management.
Currently, I am using my root account only. This is not a company, it is a training. Okay, now this is my email ID, ashokitschool@gmail.com. Click on next, enter the captcha, PNT2XB. Chalo, submit. It is asking my password. Don't share your password with anyone, guys, because if they use the services, आप pay करना पड़ेगा. Sign in. Perfect. I logged in into AWS Management Console. What is the meaning of AWS Management Console? You can perform your AWS operations by using this Management Console. You can see all the services that AWS is giving here. Whatever the service you want, you can use the service. Now tell me, what is our requirement for today? What is our requirement for today?
Set up Windows
Creating
machine.
the
We need to set up one Windows machine in the AWS cloud and keep some data in that machine. We need to set up a Windows machine in the AWS cloud and keep some data in that machine. Now see here, in the AWS, there are so many services are available. In the AWS, do we have one service or we have 200 plus services in the AWS?
200 plus.
200 plus
200
services.
plus services are available in the AWS.
Yes.
Here, now I want to set up one computer. Can I say that I'm setting a virtual computer now? Can I see that
Yes.
computer with my eyes?
Yes.
Or it is a virtual computer?
Virtual computers.
Virtual computer. In the data center, there are some servers available.
Yep.
Now I want to use one of the server and I need to set up a one computer with Windows operating system. If you want to perform some computing operations like this, we will go for a service called EC2. What is the service that we need to use, guys?
Computing service.
EC2, sir, EC2.
T2 for computing.
For
EC2 for the computing. That means
Computing.
if you want a computer, if you want a server, if you want a
Server.
virtual machine, then in the AWS you need to use one service called EC2. Now I have prepared one document, guys. Today I have prepared one document because lot of steps we are going to perform. You don't worry because some people are new here. They are from non-IT background. A beautiful document I have prepared for you. If you follow this document, you will be able to set up one Windows computer for the today's requirement. My today's requirement is set up a Windows machine in the AWS cloud and keep some data in that machine. So this is the document we need to follow. So EC2 stands for what? EC2 stands for Amazon
Elastic
Elastic
Cloud.
Compute Cloud. All of you can see my document. I will share this document after the class is completed. I have given the document for creating the account in the AWS. I think the document helped you create the account. Is the document helpful for you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, so today also, now I will do in the live, sir. First, I will set up the computer in the live class. After this class is completed, I will give this document. You just need to follow the steps. How many steps are available to set up that? Almost 22 steps are available. Almost 22 steps are available. So first time, if you listen to the steps or if you see when I am performing the steps, it may be confusing for you. So that is the reason I have prepared one. Today afternoon only I have prepared this document. I will give you this document after the class is completed. You can follow this document and you can set up the computer. That is called virtual computer. Now tell me, in order to set up a virtual computer in the AWS, which service I need to use?
EC2.
EC2 I need to use.
Elastic
EC2
Compute
stands
Cloud.
for Amazon Elastic
Amazon
Compute
Elastic
Cloud. Amazon EC2 is the most well-known service. Anybody who is using AWS cloud definitely will use the EC2. Because why we are going for Amazon Web Services? To use the servers.
Servers.
Yes.
For our project. Where we are going to set up the server? In the virtual computer. How
In the
we will
virtual
get the
computer.
virtual computer? By using
EC2. EC2.
Ah,
Yes.
EC2 is one of the most well-known service in the AWS, most popular service in the AWS. EC2 is the most popular most
service.
well-known service in the AWS.
AWS.
EC2
Okay.
stands for Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. Amazon EC2 is the most well-known service which offers businesses the availability to run the applications on the public cloud. So if you want to run your application on the cloud, you need some server. That server you are going to set up in the EC2. EC2 provides resizable computing capacity in the cloud. So developers can enjoy great scalability for building the application. That means scalability. You want 10 servers, you take it. You want 20 servers, you take it. You want 30 servers, you take it. So EC2 is like a rubber band, guys. Girls will know what is a rubber band. Right? You can stretch it. You can stretch it. EC2 is simply a custom rubber band that can stretch for building applications. So you can expand it and you can synchronize that. You can expand or you can synchronize that. Instead of purchasing our own hardware and set up a computer, set up a server, set up the network, we can use the computers which are already available in the data center. Now, when I'm going for EC2, I'm going to use a computer from the EC2. That computer I can set up with Windows operating system or I can set up with the Linux operating system. Now tell me in the real time for servers, are we going to use Windows or we are going to use Linux?
Linux.
Linux only.
Linux only.
99% of the times we are going to use the
Linux
Linux only.
Linux.
But before going to Linux, this is our first example. Now, some people don't know Linux. We all are familiar with the Windows. We all are comfortable with the Windows. That's why to understand, to explain you the concept easily, what is EC2, I'm going to set up the Windows. Once you are able to set up the Windows machine in the EC2, next we will set up the Linux machine in the EC2. Okay. Fine. Now I'm going to set up the Windows machine. Guys, first I don't follow the document now. I will set up that EC2 machine, Windows machine here. Then you can set up that machine by following my document. Okay. So now tell me which service I need to use from the AWS to set up a machine.
EC2.
EC2.
Amazon
stands
EC2.
for EC2 stands for
Amazon
Elastic Cloud
Elastic
Amazon
Cloud
Elastic
Compute.
But Ashok,
Compute Cloud. Elastic
Ashok, I have
Compute
one
Cloud.
doubt. Actually,
Yes.
this is your user as a root user, right? We should create it as a IAM user, right? Because as you said that root account should be
Yeah.
used
I told you that, sir. I told you that. So this is a training period now. That's why I'm using root user. I will tell you IAM also. I will tell you how to create IAM, how to use the IAM also.
Okay.
So now guys, you understand what is the meaning of EC2 now? What is the meaning of
Yes.
EC2 now? EC2 stands for Elastic. Guys,
Elastic Compute Cloud.
Computer Cloud.
this order. Some people are saying Elastic Cloud Computing. It's not Elastic Cloud. It is Elastic Compute Cloud. It is a certification question. What is the full form of EC2? They will ask you. All the answers they will give same. Elastic Compute Cloud, Cloud Compute Elastic Cloud Compute. Like that 4 options they will give. All looks the same. You need to find out the correct definition, correct statement, correct full form. Elastic Compute Cloud. EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud, which is used to set up the virtual machines in the AWS. Okay. Now, guys, check it here. I think I'm going to take 5 to 10 minutes of time to set up a machine in the AWS, and I will connect to that machine also. Observe carefully. I am doing the lab now. It is a lab session, practical session. Now, all of you, I'm keeping everybody in the mute, guys. I'm keeping everybody in the mute. I don't want to hear any disturbances. Please observe carefully. Whatever I am doing in the class today, after the class is completed, you have to do that. Whatever I am doing in the class today, after the class completed, you have to do that. So you don't worry. It is not a rocket science. I'm giving a document also. If you follow the steps which I have mentioned in the document, you will be able to do the setup, what I am doing in the class today. Is it okay? Almost 22 steps are available. Our requirement is what? Set up a Windows machine in the AWS cloud and keep some data in that machine. Chalo. I logged into my AWS account. Now first check it. I am currently in which region? Am I in Ohio region or I am in Mumbai region? I am in the Mumbai region. Mumbai region nothing but Asia Pacific. Every region will have a name. What is the name of the Mumbai region? AP-South-1. I have given that already. Mumbai region nothing but AP-South-1. In that Mumbai region, we have 3 availability zones. 1A, 1B, 1C. These are the 3 availability zones. So when you logged into AWS Management Console, you first check it. You are currently pointing to which region. Always select the region which is near to you. Currently, I am in the Hyderabad, in the India. In the India, there is only one region that is called Mumbai. I have selected. Suppose some people may be available in the US. You can go to US West North California. You can select this region also. Like this, you can. Now see, when I change the region, the application is getting refreshed. Now, I'm not going to use the California. I'm going to use Mumbai. Singapore also one region available. Sydney also one region available. Tokyo also one region. Like you can see all the regions which are available here. This is the list of the regions. In the Paris also they have one region. In the London also they have a region. Ireland one region. Tokyo one region. Sydney, Singapore, US regions are available. Hong Kong region is available. Like this, there are several regions are there. So my nearby region is the Mumbai. I have selected the Mumbai region. Select it. When you select the region, application is getting refreshed. Now, currently I am pointing to Mumbai region. Perfect. Once you pointed to Mumbai region, go to services, select EC2. EC2 nothing but Elastic Compute Cloud. By using EC2, we can set up the servers. Can you see currently instances running? 0. No instances are available. Launch instance. Click on this launch instance. Now, when you are going to launch the instance, you need to choose AMI. AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image. That means You no need to take a computer, no need to install the operating system manually. There are computers ready-made available by installing operating systems also. You just need to find out what type of computer you want, with which operating system you want. There are so many AMIs are available. AMI nothing but Amazon Machine Image, ready-made computer. AMI nothing but ready-made computer. Now, whenever you are choosing a computer, always make sure that computer you are choosing is free tier eligible. That means it is free. Amazon is giving the virtual computer for free. You don't need to pay the money. You see, Amazon Linux to AMI, kernel, SSD volume type computer. This is free tier eligible. Okay, Amazon Linux, kernel 4.14, free tier eligible. Mac OS, is it free tier available? Mac OS computer, free tier available or free tier not available? Respond to me in the chat box. Mac OS free tier available, free tier not available? Free tier not available. So when you use that Mac OS computer, what will happen? Bill will be generated. If you use that Mac OS computer, you have to pay the bill for AWS. You make sure you are going to select a computer which is free tier eligible. Free tier eligible, nothing but free of cost. No need to pay the money. No need to pay the money. Red Hat computer, Red Hat OS, Linux distribution, free tier eligible. SUSE Linux, SUSE is one operating system, flavor in the Linux, free tier eligible. Ubuntu, free tier eligible. Windows is also available, free tier eligible. Can I take a computer with Windows operating system for free of cost? Come on, please respond. Can I take a Windows computer? Can I take a computer with Windows operating system for free of cost from the AWS EC2? Yes, we can do that. Windows Server 2019, Windows Server 2019 with SQL Server, 2019 with SQL Server, 2019, 2022, the latest Microsoft Windows Server 2022 base. It is free tier eligible. I'm going to choose this. I'm going to choose this Windows Server 2022 base, the latest one, 64-bit operating system. What operating system I'm using, guys? Windows 64-bit operating system machine I'm going to take. Now it's free of cost. Guys, once again, I'm repeating. We are using free services from the AWS. So whenever you are selecting a EC2, AMI, you choose a machine which is having free tier eligible. This is free tier eligible. Select it. Okay. Once I have selected Windows 2022 machine, they are showing instance types. So we are going to select in the Windows 2022, there are several instances are available. Here we are going to select a instance type which is free tier eligible. Okay, T2.micro. This instance type is free. Micro instances are eligible for the AWS free usage type for the first 12 months following your AWS sign up date. You get up to 750 hours of micro instances each month. First 12 years, these instances, 12 months, that means 1 year. First 1 year, these instances are free. Every month, you can use that computer for 750 hours. They don't charge any amount from you. If you use more than 750 hours, then bill will be generated. First year, free. Some hours limit is available. Okay, so select this micro free tier eligible. By default, it is selected. Now, click on configure instance details. How many computers you want? Windows computers. How many Windows computers you want? That means instances. One instance means one server or one computer. Computer, machine, instance, everything is same. Number of instances. Do you want one computer or you want 10 computers? Do you want one computer or you want 10 computers? One. That means I'm going to choose number of instances as 1. Number of instances 1. I'm not going to change anything else, guys. I'm going to select the number of instances 1. Next one, add the storage. How much storage you want in that computer? By default 30 GB. By default, that computer will be available with 30 GB. If you want more than that, you can select. You can select how much GB you want for that. You can add the extra volume also. Volume nothing but size or space. 30 GB I am going to get by default. I'm not changing this. I'm just selecting the storage. You see here, Step 1, choose AMI. AMI nothing but Amazon machine image. What type of machine you want? And choose instance type. Choose instance type. Then configure instances. Add the storage. Click on add tag. Adding the tag is optional, guys. If you want, you can add it. Name, I'm giving my first Windows VM. It is just a name I am giving for that. Name, my first Windows VM, I'm adding as a tag. Name, key name, value, like that I'm going to configure. Next one, configure security group. Currently, I'm not configuring any security group. I am using default security group. Okay, Windows will use RDP protocol, guys. Windows will use RDP protocol. Linux will use SSH protocol, something like this. There are several protocols are available. Currently, I am using RDP. I'm not changing anything. The port range is the 3389. 3389 is the port number. Click on review and launch. I'm not changing anything here. Click on review and launch. Now, final step. You review that. What you have selected? You have selected Microsoft Windows Server AMI. Check it. Free tier eligible. I want to take up T2 micro instance type, which is free tier eligible. Every month, 750 hours I can use it. Security groups. I'm not taking anything extra. Default security group, which is coming for RDP protocol. Instance details. I'm taking only one instance. Storage. I'm taking by default 30 GB. Tags. I have configured name and value as a tag. So these are the details which I have selected. Click on launch. Guys, observe carefully. When I click on the launch, they're saying that select an existing key pair to existing key pair. Now, when I click on launch, I think there is something issue. Yeah, when I click on this launch, it is giving me one option called select existing key pair or create a new key pair. Key pair is nothing but secret key, security between our computer and EC2 computer. Now select create new key pair, RSA key pair. You select it, my Windows key pair. My Windows key pair. You download this key pair, guys. Click on launch. You select it, create a new key pair, my Windows key pair, download key pair. We need to store this key pair. This key pair contains username and password to connect to the EC2 machine, guys. Download key pair. It is going to download one key pair for us. Create a new key pair, my Windows key pair, download that key pair. Download that key pair. There is some issue. Security group, review and launch it. Choose, create a new key pair, my Windows key pair, download that key pair. You have to download the private key file. Why this UI is getting dragged? Let me refresh it. Yeah, I'm coming to first step, guys. Unfortunately, that UI is not responding. Let me come back. I'm going to do the steps once again. Microsoft Windows Server, free tier eligible, select it. Select it, T2 micro, configure instance details. One instance only I'm going to take. Add the storage, 30 GB. Add the tag. I'm adding the tag as name, my first Windows VM. Security group, I'm not configuring anything. Review and launch. Yeah, these are the details available. Click on launch. It is asking to download a key pair, create a new key pair. I will keep this my first Windows key pair. Download this key pair. Now it is downloaded. My first Windows key pair file got downloaded, which is a PEM file. Once you have downloaded this key pair, now click on launch instances. Click on launch instances. Wow, our instance launched. That means we have launched one computer. We have launched one Windows server in the AWS EC2. We have launched one server in the AWS EC2. You got it. This is the ID of our instance. The following instance launched have been initiated. Click on this. Click on this ID. Now you see instance is running. Currently it is initializing. That means successfully we are able to launch one EC2 machine with Windows operating system. I have given the tag now. The tag name is this only. The tag name is displaying. If you don't add the tag, this name will be empty. I have added the tag. What is the name of my tag? My first Windows VM. This is the name I have given. When I add the tag, with the tag, it is displayed here. Now it is initializing. One computer is initialized. One computer is initialized. Now, how can I say that that computer is initialized now? I have selected AWS Mumbai region. AWS Mumbai region. In this AWS Mumbai region, I am using EC2 service. In the AWS, I am using what, guys? EC2 service. Inside the EC2 service, what I have done? Windows machine. This is what I have done now. Windows machine, Windows VM, virtual machine. This is what I have done now. Are you guys clear with this one? Are you guys clear with this one? Now see here, status checking, initializing. One instance launched in the AWS EC2. One instance launched in the AWS EC2. That EC2 provided one machine to me. That is the Windows machine, Windows VM. That means virtual machine. One computer I have started in the EC2 instance. One EC2 instance I have started in the Mumbai region. Chalo. Now here, guys, whenever we have done this setup, this is having key pair. This is having key pair. Key pair means what? Username and password will be available. That key pair will contain what? Username and password. Username and password. Now, this is my personal computer. This is my laptop. Now I am in Hyderabad location. Come on, guys. Hyderabad location. This is my personal laptop. From this personal laptop, I should connect to this Windows machine. From this personal computer, I should connect to Windows machine. My personal computer is also, I am using Windows laptop. Laptop with Windows OS. I am having a laptop with Windows OS. This is my computer, guys. This is my computer. Are you clear with this one? This is my computer, Windows machine. In the AWS also, I have a Windows machine. Can I connect from my computer? Can I connect from my computer to Windows machine available in the AWS now? Can I connect from I have some data in my computer, guys. I want to keep my data in the AWS machine now, AWS VM. So can anybody connect directly to the machine I have created here? No. For this Windows machine, there is a DNS. There is a DNS that is called address. If you want to access that computer, you need to know the DNS and you need to know the key pair. Okay. Now go to this Windows machine, select this machine. When you select this machine, is it giving the DNS for you? Is it giving the DNS for you? Public DNS? Copy this. Public IPv4 DNS copied. So that means this is the address of the computer. Come on, guys. So this DNS is nothing but this is address of the computer. This is the computer address. Computer address. Now, if you want to connect it to this EC2 machine, now you need to use this DNS address. This is called address of the computer. This is IP or DNS, address of the computer. Now, if I give you this IP, can you connect it to this computer now? If I give this IP, can you connect to that computer? You cannot, because the computer is secured. It is having a username and password. Do you know my username and password? I have created this machine. Can anybody connect to this machine? AWS will not allow, because AWS is providing security. If you know this username and password, then only you can connect to this computer. So this computer is having an address that is called DNS address, public address. Anybody can connect to this computer if they have the username and password. Security is maintained by AWS or not? Security is maintained by AWS or not? Security is maintained by the AWS. Security is maintained by the AWS here. Okay, guys. Security is maintained by the AWS. Okay, sir. Now, okay, fine. We understood how to create a machine in the EC2. One Windows machine we have set up. We have done the setup of one Windows machine, but Windows machine having a address also. Public IPv4 DNS address is available. Now I want to connect to that machine. I want to keep my data in that machine. This is my personal computer. From my personal computer, I want to connect to this Windows machine. From this personal computer, I want to connect to this Windows machine. Now, by using RDP, we can connect it. What service, what we need to use, guys? RDP. RDP stands for remote to desktop connection. By using, in the Windows, if you see in my personal computer, if I type here remote, there is a remote desktop connection. That means if you want to connect from one computer to another computer, you can go for remote to desktop connection. I am using Windows computer only. In the AWS also, I have a Windows computer. I want to connect from my Windows computer to AWS Windows computer. That's where you will go for RDP. You will go for RDP. Now, in order to connect to the AWS, what we need the address of that computer. We know the address. We know the DNS. We should know the username and password. Are you guys able to follow this? Are you guys able to follow this? What I'm trying to say? Right. Now, Windows machine is ready. So if you see in this Windows machine, there is an option called connect. There is an option called what? Connect. That means I want to connect. How you want to connect to this machine? By using RDP client. So in my computer, I have a RDP. In my computer, I am using one laptop. In that laptop only, I am taking the class. In that computer, I have a RDP, remote to desktop connection. That means remote location. In another location, I have another Windows computer. From my Windows computer, I want to connect it to another Windows computer. To connect from my Windows computer to another Windows computer, I am going to use RDP client. I'm going to use RDP client. If I have only RDP, is it sufficient? No. I need to have the address of the computer. I should know the username and password of the computer. Are we able to download that username and password? We have downloaded that username and password. Can you see? My first Windows keypad, that PEM file is downloaded. My PEM file is downloaded. Can you read this PEM file? Can you read this PEM file? It is encrypted. It is encrypted. I cannot read that PEM file. Now, what I will do is, I will go to these instances. There is an option called connect. I will go to instances. There is one instance. There is one Windows instance available. It is running. Status also passed. Now, I can use a concept to select this checkbox. Then you will get a connect option. Click on connect. Select a option called RDP client. What is the IP? This is the IP. I can copy the IP. What is the username of our computer? Administrator. Here, if you click on this icon, it will copy. Do you know the password? I know the address. I know the username. I know the DNS of the Windows machine available in the EC2. I know the username of the Windows machine. But do you know the password? Do I know the password? Can I open this file and can I see what is my password here? I cannot, because it is encrypted. That's why they have given one option called get password. Click on get password. Now browse to your key pair. We have downloaded one key pair file now. We have to upload it. Browse it, downloads, upload that file. Browse it, upload that file. Decrypt password. Finally, I got my password. This is my password. Now, do you have all the information here? Address is available, username is available, password is available. Is it sufficient to connect it to my Windows VM using RDP client now? From my computer, can I connect it to Windows VM available in the EC2 now? Yes, using these details, I will connect for that. First, let me copy this address. Go to remote to desktop connection. Yeah, give the address, guys. Paste the address. Paste the address. Click on connect. Click on connect. It is connecting to that computer. It is asking username and password. Do we have the username and password here? Yeah, administrator is my username. Copy this. Copy this username. I have copied administrator. Copy this password. Copy this password. Give the password. Click on OK. Now it is connecting. Yes. Click on yes. Now I am connecting from my computer to my Windows computer, which is available in the AWS. Wow. Successful. We are able to launch one Windows machine in the AWS, and we are able to connect to that machine in the we are able to connect to that machine from our machine by using RDP client, which is called remote to desktop. Remote to desktop connection, RDP, remote desktop connection. I'm able to connect. I'm connecting from one computer to another computer. One computer is my local computer. Another computer is the EC2 computer. That is called EC2 machine. Successful, guys. Successful. We are able to launch one machine. Is it my computer now, or is it EC2 machine? Is it my computer, or is it EC2 machine? Yes, connect to the network also. Can I say this is a virtual computer now, which is given by AWS? This is the virtual computer which is given by the AWS. Virtual computer which is given by the AWS. Now go to this file. Go to this folder section now. Guys, observe. In my computer, if I minimize this, in my computer I have opened Google Chrome browser, I have Notepad++, I have a Paint. But when I go for remote computer, do I have anything here? If I go to remote computer, do I have anything now? This is my remote computer. This is my remote computer. This is my remote computer. Can I copy some files from my computer to my remote computer? Okay. Now let's go to E drive, Ashok IT, DevOps, Documents, AWS account creation. Copy the file from my computer and keep it in the EC2 computer. Paste it. Am I able to store my file from my machine to EC2 machine? Am I able to copy and paste the data from my computer to EC2 computer? This is called virtual computer, virtual machine. We cannot see that machine physically, but we can use it. This is one EC2 machine. They're giving some details also: host name, instance ID, private IP, public IP, T2 micro, availability zone. In which availability zone this computer is running now? AP South 1A. AP South 1A zone belongs to which region? Mumbai. Architecture AMD 64, total memory 1024, network low to moderate. This is the instance information. Instance or computer or machine, all are same. All are same. Now, guys, are you able to understand how I have done a EC2 setup? How I have done a EC2 setup? First time you people may get confused. That's the reason I have prepared one document also, guys. I have prepared one document also. Now you see this document, step by step, everything will be there. EC2 description. EC2 stands for Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. Some theory part is there. Leave it. Create account in AWS. We have already account in the AWS. Login into AWS account using the credentials. I'm logging in by using my root account, ashokitschool@gmail.com. Choose the region. I'm choosing the region as Mumbai, Asia Pacific. Next one, go to services and select EC2. I'm giving the screenshots also clearly. Go to services, select EC2, EC2 machine launched. Then click on launch instance. Once it is launched, select the AMI, select Windows image, Microsoft Windows Server 2022 base. Note, select free tier eligible. I'm selecting the free tier eligible AMI. Then select the instance type T2 micro. This micro is the free tier eligible instance. Select that, click on next. Then configure instance details. Number of instances I'm taking only one because only one server I want to start. Then storage by default 30. I'm not changing anything. Add the tag Windows VM. You can give any name for that. Name, value. Configure security group. I'm not changing anything. By default it is RDP with a 3389 port number. click on launch. When you click on the launch, it will display the information. Then finally click on the launch button. Once you click on the launch button, it will ask you to download the key pair. Tomorrow I will talk more about this key pair, guys. Create a new key pair. Windows key pair, I have given the name as this one, RSCS token, download key pair. Once you downloaded that key pair, you can click on this button, launch instance, then your instance will be launched. You can see this message. If you click on this message, then you can see that instance is running. Once you select this checkbox, there will be a connect option for you. Once you click on the connect option, you will get this screen. You can see the IP and DNS. Once you click on this connect option, then it will go to the next screen. There you need to select RDP client. In the RDP client, you can see the DNS, you can see the username. You don't know the password. Click on the get password. You upload the password. That means whatever the key file you have downloaded, click on the browse and upload key pair file, which we have downloaded, and click on decrypt the password. Once you have decrypted the password, you can copy the password. You can see the DNS, you can see the username, and you can see the password. DNS, username, password. You can copy all the details. Okay. Once you have done all these details, then you can go to remote desktop connection in your computer. From the start menu, if you click on Windows, click on remote desktop connection, it will open that for you. You enter your DNS, connect, enter your username, enter your password. It will be connected. Finally, you can see one image like this. That is what we are able to see now. This is my Windows VM. Is the document is going to help you now? Is the document is going to help you now? Is the document is going to help you now? Now I'm disconnecting from this. Okay, disconnect. Is the document is going to help you? You can copy paste the file from your local machine to EC2 machine. That's all. That's all. That is the today's lab. Are we able to achieve this requirement? Are we able to achieve this requirement? Come on, guys. Are we able to achieve this requirement now? Just for understanding purpose, guys, I'm giving you how to set up one virtual machine in the EC2. I'm just giving you clarity how to set up one virtual machine in the EC2. RDP. Now we will give the DNS. We will give the username. We will give the password. Then we can connect. Once it is done, practice is done. They are giving you these things for 750 hours now. Once you have done that, you can delete that instance. This is just for practice purpose. Once you have done that, instance state is available now. Instance state is available. Select this instance state, stop instance or terminate. Stop means instance will be stopped. Nobody can access it. Click on stop it. That instance will be stopped. If you want to terminate it, then you can terminate. That means I'm deleting my instance. That instance will be deleted. That instance is deleted because unnecessarily why to waste our hours. 750 hours is the limit. I have deleted my instance. It is shutting down. That means I'm stopping that computer. Once you are able to connect to that instance, once you are able to see this image, once you are able to copy paste the data, we understand the concept, then you can delete it. You can terminate that instance so that you don't get the bills from the AWS. You don't get the bills from the AWS if you terminate that instance. Sure, guys. I hope you got my point. How I have used EC2 today. How I have used EC2 today. I hope you got my point. Okay. Can you practice this before coming to tomorrow? Can you practice this before coming to tomorrow? Sure. In the tomorrow session, we will talk more about key pair. Tomorrow we'll talk more about the key pair and we will see how to launch one Linux machine in the AWS. Mainly, we need to concentrate on the Linux, guys, because people will not use Windows in the companies for the deployments. People will be using Linux. Tomorrow we'll understand some details about the key pair. Then we will go for the Linux machine. We will launch the Linux machines. Fine. Thank you, guys. With this, I'm stopping for today. I will continue tomorrow. Bye-bye. Good night.